Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
A fire destroys part of a church, and now members of the congregation looking and hoping to rebuild.
This happened late last night at the Christ Redeeming Community Church on G Street near Pecan Valley Drive. As RJ Marquez tells us, the pastor and his congregation now rallying around one another during a tough time.
All this leads right into the kitchen, and so all of that's pretty much gone.
Pastor Devin Funches has led Christ Redeeming Community Church for the past decade. Late last night, he got a call from San Antonio firefighters that his church caught fire.
Shock, dismay, but at the same time, I'm grateful to God that no one was here. It didn't happen while we were having service.
Firefighters responded to the fire on G Street at around 11 p.m. The back of the building burned, but fire crews managed to put it out before it spread to the sanctuary.
And you could see the damage left behind by this fire. So this is the playground area right here, but on the other side is the kitchen. And it turns out that Pastor Funches and the rest of the congregation actually turned off the gas to the kitchen before this fire broke out, or else things could have been much worse.
It's a lot, but I believe I know for a fact, God's gonna get us through this.
Fire officials say the cause is under investigation, and it's not lost on Pastor Funches that hours before he was there holding Sunday service.
We're gonna do what we have to do, and we're gonna hold each other strong. They're resilient, they love God, I know that we're gonna rally around it.
The church also holds monthly food drives, serving about 200 families in the neighborhood. Right now, his congregation is trying to figure out the next step.
Get some of this started as far as boarding it up, and then we just go from there. But we're trusting God.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Tonight, San Antonio police are investigating the shooting of a teenager. That shooting happened sometime around 3 this afternoon in the 10,000 block of Breeds Hill Drive that's on the west side near Marbach Road. According to SAPD, the victim was shot in the leg by another teenager. At last check, he was in critical condition. Officers say the suspect ran off after that shooting.
San Antonio police responding to another shooting, this time at a motel. The increase in gun violence causing concern among community members. People in the area of that shooting reacting to the increase in gun violence throughout our community. On Friday, a shooting on the lanes of Highway 90 between General Hudnell and Zarzamora on the south side, leaving a man with multiple gunshot wounds. Also on Friday, another shooting, this time at an ATM. Police say a man shot and killed 2 people who tried to rob him. That shooting happened at a Chase Bank near Southwest Military Drive and I-35, not far from South Park Mall.
Now there's way too many guns out in society, and I believe that's what's fueling the violence, not only here in San Antonio, but in the country.
Today, police also responding to another shooting at a hotel off of I-35 near Southwest Military Drive just before noon. They say a 31-year-old man shot 3 times, taken to BAMC in critical condition.
A teenager charged last year in a deadly shooting at a Martin Luther King Day celebration was in court today. O.L. Wallace, now 19 years old, faced with a choice of taking a plea deal or going to trial. Erica Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom for that decision.
O.L. Wallace didn't say anything last year after he was arrested and charged with the deadly East Side shooting.
Can you tell us anything about what happened that night?
The January 17, 2022 Martin Luther King Jr. celebration in the 400 block of Spriggsdale Boulevard ended in gunfire, killing 61-year-old Johnny Mobley Jr. and injuring 4 others. Police believe Wallace was the gunman that opened fire into a crowd of 30 to 60 people. More than a year and a half later, Wallace, who has been in jail since his arrest, met with his attorney inside the 226 District Court for a plea deadline hearing.
If you're done discussing your case, there's no more negotiations. I respect that, but I'm not going to take any plea bargains after today.
Wallace deciding he wanted to take his case to trial.
If for whatever reason you change your mind, it would be an open plea, which means the full range of punishment would apply and it would be available to me.
And if found guilty, that full range of punishment would be 5 to 99 years or life in prison. So what's next in this case is that potential jurors will come in this Friday for jury selection, but the trial won't actually start until July 31st. At the Cadena Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Just hours after announcing his campaign for U.S. Senate, I sat down with State Senator Roland Gutierrez and talked about why and how he plans to win the Democratic nomination and defeat Ted Cruz. Gutierrez released this video announcing his run this morning. He's been an advocate for Uvalde families and changing gun laws. In his campaign video, he referenced last year's Robb Elementary shooting. Gutierrez accuses Texas Republicans of neglecting issues that affect the average Texan, like immigration solutions, medical costs, and infrastructure.
We have to be able to have the things that are truly affecting us be what we talk about as public servants. The boogeyman, the things that Ted Cruz wants to talk about, I'm not interested in any of that. I want to talk to Republicans and Democrats about what's affecting their pocketbooks at home. That's the conversation that we're going to have.
He faces U.S. Representative Colin Allred, a former NFL player and Obama administration official for the Democratic nomination. Allred's campaign welcomed Gutierrez to the race. Incumbent Ted Cruz's campaign released a statement saying, quote, "We welcome Senator Gutierrez to the race. Texans will now get to watch Colin Allred and Roland Gutierrez slug it out for who can be the most radical leftist in the state." Meanwhile, Senator Cruz will continue passionately defending Texas and delivering real results for 30 million Texans, end quote.
Over to the Panhandle now. A stretch of Highway 15 there between Booker and Perryton looked like this. It was closed yesterday because of this intense flooding. This video posted to Facebook by the Booker Fire Department. It shows this 18-wheeler driving through the flooding, and it's so severe you can't even see the highway it is driving on right now. According to the National Weather Service, parts of Texas and the Oklahoma Panhandles saw a ton of rain over the weekend. Looks like it's headed through a lake.
Yeah. How does he know where he's going?
Yeah, that would be a tough one. All right, back here at home, look outside right now. No clouds to speak of in this view, and we're hoping for any shot at rain, Adam.
Yeah, and speaking of the Panhandle, they've actually had a pretty good summer when it comes to rainfall. Obviously, right there, a little too much of a good thing. I wish we could drum up some showers, but tomorrow, 10% chance for the hill country and Edwards Plateau. That's it for the foreseeable future. 103 our high today, the record being 106 set on this day last year. We'll talk about our triple-digit trend and even where the general precipitation and rainfall is going to be over the next 7 days coming right up.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks, Adam. Cutting the number of veteran suicides in half by 2030. It is a lofty goal, but one USAA leadership and some local families believe is possible.
USAA is one of 3 large companies using their powerful platforms to launch a brand new coalition called Face the Fight. A local widow tells our Courtney Friedman why she feels it's necessary to tell her husband's tragic story.
Audrey and Josh Madigan were an Air Force power couple. She was in security forces and he was a pararescue specialist. Josh died by suicide in 2010.
I was there when Josh took his life. I didn't speak of it to anyone until 2019. I really thought I was the only one. I had no one else to relate to.
Now working for USAA, she's learned the problem is rampant. Nationwide, more than 120,000 veterans have died by suicide since 2001, including 526 in Texas alone through 2020. That's why USAA just announced a brand new coalition called Face the Fight.
Our goal is to cut veteran suicide in half by the year 2030.
Major General Bob Whittle retired from the Army after 33 years and now is the Chief of Staff to USAA's CEO. He says the coalition's mission is threefold. First, breaking stigma.
And if we can get people to share that they're thinking about it, having suicidal thoughts, we can get them the help they need.
The second piece is increasing conversation.
Calling a veteran or a service member that you know and chatting with them, see how they're doing. Ask if they need anything.
The third part is funding and amplifying the work already being done by the Department of Defense, VA, and other evidence-based organizations.
So far, we've raised $41 million from the 3 founders.
USAA, Humana Foundation, and Endeavors are just paving the way for others to face the fight, including family members like Audrey.
The reliving part.
Hard to get through even now, but that won't stop her from telling her story.
I could not explain how many people have reached out to me ever since I've done this. So suicide is not the answer.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Now, if you would like to become part of that coalition, we have information and a link on our website. If you or anyone you know is struggling with thoughts of suicide, you can call or text 988 anytime.
Check out traffic right now with TransGuide. We're going to go to I-35 at Loop 410, usually a busy area. It still is. As you can see, we're at Loop 410, the on-ramp to 35 right there. Things usually slow down, and they are today, but they are moving. Just no major traffic tie-ups to tell you about. And as you plan your commute for the week, there are some closures, though, you're going to want to be aware of. Stephen Cavazos has you covered.
The roadwork, you guessed it, it's expected to continue in and around the Alamo City, so just always good to know what to expect before you have to hit the roads. I want to talk about what's happening here. Kendall County, we talk about it all the time, but that bridge work is going to pick up again. Monday, July 10th, takes us all the way to the end of the work week, folks. Friday, July 14th. Work starts at 9 in the morning and hopefully will wrap around 3 in the afternoon. We'll see alternating main lane closures in both directions right there at Fredericks Creek Bridge, so just prepare for that. Let's take a jump over here to 281 on the north side of San Antonio. Paving work. All right, this does also begin Monday, July 10th and takes us to the end of the work week, July 14th. Work also starts at 9 in the morning, and again, fingers crossed, it all wraps up at 3 in the afternoon. Alternating lane closures in both directions right there at Borgfeld Road, so prepare for that. One more here for you, and you know about this one, Wurzbach Parkway. We have roadway improvements. This has been ongoing for quite a while, but it takes us all the way to the end of the month, July 31st. Again, that work starts at 9 in the morning and should wrap at 3 in the afternoon. Alternating lane closures in both directions from Northwest Military Highway to Weidner Road. All right, if you have your phones out, open the camera apps and scan the QR code because it takes you to our KSAT traffic page. I've updated the list of closures that are happening in our area, so plan that commute ahead of time.
Well, it took 2 special legislative sessions, but it appears state lawmakers have finally reached a deal to lower your property taxes. It's a combination of the 2 proposals the House and Senate had been butting heads on for months. The big highlights here, increasing homestead exemptions to $100,000 and reducing the rate you pay to your local school district. But schools still need that funding, so how will they get the money?
It's a huge problem with trying to eliminate property taxes with a one-time surplus, which is where the money's coming from.
It's got very, very broad implications, specifically for public education in the long run.
And that's what we dive into in a new KSAT Explains today. What it means to compress property tax rates, how that will affect funding schools, and the governor's idea to go even further and eliminate a huge chunk of property taxes. KSAT Explains is coming up at 6:30.
Also coming up, what the San Antonio Police Department is doing to help you get your broken headlights fixed on your car rather than giving you a citation. A supervisor and a deputy from the Comal County Sheriff's Office out of jobs after not disclosing their sexual relationship. KSAT investigates Dylan Collier. We'll give you the details on this case coming up tonight on the Night Beat at 10.
San Antonio Police announcing a new partnership with a company that will help people get their broken headlight or tail light fixed without getting a ticket. Here's how it works. Lights On is a Minnesota-based company that aims to get people help with their cars rather than having them pay money. Now, through the Lights On partnership, officers will now give out vouchers to those who have broken headlights or tail lights. These vouchers will replace warnings or citations from SAPD.
It is intended to improve community relations, to not fear the police, and help someone out financially when they've got to spend a little bit of money to get their car repaired.
Since Lights On began this program in 2017, the company has had nearly 10,000 vouchers redeemed.
Talk some football now. We're already looking ahead to this year's KSAT Pigskin Classic, even bigger than last year because we added an extra night of football. There will be 1 game on Friday, August 25th, 3 games on Saturday, August 26th. Tickets on sale now. KSAT insiders can get their VIP experience with the best seats in the house and some fun. Just head to KSAT.com for more information.
I don't know if teams are doing 2-a-days yet, but this time of year, I always think that's got to be brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal out there.
I don't think they're starting yet.
Yeah. August usually, is that right?
So we'll crank up the heat just in time for 2-a-days to start.
And it's in the early morning. Luckily, they're doing most of that, yes. And it's still hot, even if it's early in the morning. Let's talk triple digits here. I mentioned earlier, a high today, 103. We're going to be bouncing between 102 and 103 the rest of the week and even on into the weekend. It's more of the same. So if you work outside or you spend extended periods of time outside, you have to take those necessary precautions to stay hydrated. Get in the shade and take some breaks. 103 are high locally today. Cotulla made it up to 105. Laredo 107, Del Rio 104, along with New Braunfels. Now today is the 16th triple-digit day so far here in San Antonio. Now you look at the records and you'll recognize this graphic from last year as we were tallying up all of our 100-degree days. All time, 59 in a year. That was back in 2009. Last year we had 58. Remember, we missed that record by one day. What's interesting is by this day, at this point in 2009, the record-breaking year, we actually had 20 100-degree days. We're only 4 shy of that right now. That doesn't mean we're going to see as many as 2009. That's just an interesting little fact there that by this time in 2009, we didn't have that many more. But we were really tallying them up through August that year. Here's a look at our big picture and our big pattern. Upper level high still influencing us, the big blue H. There is some shower activity out west. You get the terrain circulations and you start to generate some of those showers. This upper level high, it's going to drift westward a little bit, but that's not going to have a huge impact on our weather. Yes, the door, you could argue the door is going to be open for some disturbances. We just don't have any disturbances to move our way as that high centers itself more over the western United States. We're still going to have that triple-digit heat. And as for the overall rainfall, you look at the trend over the next 7 days, and this is just a generalized, basically, generalized areas of rainfall. The darker green, the higher the odds, the lighter the green, the lower the odds, but still there's some potential. Unfortunately, it's nowhere near San Antonio. And I do want to say there's a little caveat here, very little, 10% chance tomorrow for the Hill Country and Edwards Plateau. So we could have an isolated shower pop up on the radar screen far to the north and northwest of San Antonio tomorrow, but it'd be insignificant and brief, unfortunately. More hand watering for the days ahead, that's for sure. Right now, temperatures 102 Bulverde, 102 Port SA, 100 Rio Medina, Stinson, 103. 103 in Cotulla, Carrizo Springs 104, but there is some not as hot air, not that far away. Get into far north Texas and especially just up into Oklahoma, you get up into the plains. On the other side of this frontal boundary, temperatures are in the 80s, so you go from triple digits to the 80s on the other side of that front. Talk about a July frontal boundary there, separating 100s from 80s. As for this evening, clear sky, warm and, of course, very sticky, that high humidity. By 10 o'clock, 90 degrees. Midnight, we're at 85. Southeasterly wind at 10 to 15. So at least there's a bit of a breeze out there. Tomorrow, we start the day at 80 at sunrise. Some clouds early. Otherwise, total sunshine. And by the afternoon, we're up to 103, but it's going to feel like it's between 107 and 109 when you factor in that humidity. So Rio Medina, 102, but it's going to feel like it's closer to 107. Seguin 103, but feeling like it's closer to 108. And this trend is just going to continue. Get used to it for now.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Adam.
All right. I guess we're going to have to hit pause on the Wemby watch.
Yeah, you're going to have to do that. But if you're a real Spurs fan, you're going to keep watching the Summer League and watch these other young guys just because Wemby's not playing anymore.
All right.
So we'll test your Spur fandom. Coming up, tale of two games for Wemby and the Spurs so far in the Summer League in Las Vegas. And how about an in-season tournament in the NBA? Oh, the crowd went nuts for Wemby's baskets. The only time they really did last night. But all Wemby wanted was a win. Didn't get that, but did get some time off. We have now seen Victor Wembanyama play 2 games, and the Spurs told us earlier that that'll be it for the summer. He will stay with the team, get a vacation, and get to work for the season. He got off to a slow start Friday night. A lot of people were quick to judge, but it wasn't as bad. He had 9 points and 8 rebounds, almost a double-double. He had a whole lot of nerves, very little practice with the group. What did you expect? Last night, completely different story. Wemby had one basket in the first quarter, and then he got it going. He finished with 27. That was a game high, 9 of 14 shooting, nailed 2 3-pointers, was 7 of 12 from the free throw line, had 12 rebounds, 8 of those defensive, and he had 3 blocks. That's 8 blocks in 2 games, and it's only the Summer League. The Spurs lost 85-80 for their first loss of the Summer League, but everything is a work in progress for the number 1 overall draft pick. For more, here's Larry Ramirez in Vegas.
Yeah, last night the Thomas & Mack Center was absolutely rocking for the Spurs Blazers because of Victor Wembanyama. Young man looked much more comfortable in his second Summer League game, which makes sense, right? So was that the type of contest he needed following his first game?
I wish we would have won the game. And I think I could have done more to help my team win this game. We got to keep learning, and we haven't been playing our best for like 3 quarters, but in the fourth we were really dominating, and it shows a real personality of a team. And I think that personally, I'm just, it's normal to get better every game. 2 days ago was my first game. I had like so much going on with the draft, with the media and stuff. So so it's just, it makes sense.
And as for Pop's new 5-year contract, Wemby said that's just another sign from coach and the franchise that they care about this project. That's all from Las Vegas. Back to you in San Antonio.
Thank you, Larry. Once again, Wemby shutting it down for the rest of the Summer League, but the other guys keep playing. They take on the Wizards tomorrow night at 9:30, and then it's the Pistons Friday at 7:30 in Vegas. And we mentioned, but in case you missed the whole story over the weekend, Spurs head coach Greg Popovich is going to be sticking around for a while. The news broke late Saturday afternoon that Coach Pop has a new deal, 5 more years at $80 million to stay coaching the Spurs and the young Victor Wembanyama. $80 million to coach the 19-year-old international superstar? Yeah, you probably stick around too. And speaking of Saturday's late sports news, it was announced Saturday night that the NBA has a new tournament for this coming season. It's the NBA Cup, an in-season tournament using regular season games for some group stage play. Wemby was on hand for the announcement and the revealing of the trophy. The new tournament should add some excitement for those November and December games that usually get brushed aside because of football, and it should motivate the players as well. Here's some notes on the new tournament. Adam Silver was pushing this really hard, and he got it. So it starts in November. 6 group winners, 2 wildcard teams advance. Group C is the Spurs, the Kings, the Warriors, the T-Wolves, and the Thunder. Players of championship team gets $500,000. So I guess that's your motivation right there, is the $500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, it's not $80 million.
No,
but still,
but,
you'd take it. Yeah.
A few less bottles of wine for $500,000.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
All right,
Pop's
thanks,
all right,
David.
I guess.
Well, they have reached a deal. Lawmakers compromising on a plan to reduce your property tax bill. You won't be paying as much to your local school district. So where will schools get the money they need? KSAT Explains is next.
So what does it mean? Finally, a deal in Austin on Texas property taxes.
It is a compromise on the plans put forth by the House and the Senate, which are now in their second special legislative session to deal with this very issue. So here's what's in that deal. It reduces your school property tax rate. It increases the homestead exemption to $100,000 and creates a pilot program to give tax credits on properties that don't have a homestead exemption.
Still a big question here, though, in all that. What does this do to school funding? And could it lower your property taxes now only to cost us more in the future?
That is what we're looking at in this KSAT Explains, plus the proposals that lawmakers wrestled with to get here.
Our citizens are needing help.
There are long-term implications to this.
Eliminating the school M&O tax is the goal.
There's just not enough revenue to do it.
The money's got to come from somewhere.
Lawmakers have been struggling for months to find common ground on property tax relief.
The Senate had a plan, the House had a plan. The end of the session passed with no solution on that.
But Governor Abbott told lawmakers to get it done and go into overtime to do it. The first special legislative session ended in a stalemate, so lawmakers went into double overtime, wrestling with two plans that have one giant similarity, something called compression.
The biggest portion of your property tax bill is the independent school district in your area.
Both the House and Senate proposals include a plan to compress the property tax rate set by local school districts. If that rate is lowered, you pay less. But public schools will still need the money. So lawmakers in both chambers want to use roughly $12 billion the state has in a surplus to make up the difference for schools.
The House plan currently is what the governor has asked for, which is compression only.
It would lower property taxes for all property owners. But the Senate plan favors homeowners by increasing homestead exemptions from $40,000 to $100,000. Voters would later have to approve that. It's the plan Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick supports. This would not be the first time state lawmakers have approved compressing school property tax rates. They did in 2019. The state pays billions for that compression every year.
There's already $5 billion cooked into the budget for property tax relief. So when you hear the number $17 billion for property tax relief, really what's being debated in Austin is more like $12 to $13 billion.
That's a one-time deal.
Right, that's just for 2 years.
That's just for 2 years.
Right.
So what happens at the end of those 2 years?
If what was done in the year 2023 was to take one-time money to buy down local property taxes, there's nothing to keep them from going up 2 and 4 years from now.
The concept of what they're doing isn't bad. It's just that the math doesn't work long term. My name is Josh Sanderson. I'm the Deputy Executive Director of the Equity Center.
The Equity Center represents more than 600 Texas school districts in the legislative process, especially when it comes to funding. That roughly $12 to $13 billion to pay for this property tax relief would come from the roughly $33 billion surplus the state has now.
And that surplus is completely unprecedented. Think of it as one-time money because it's not a regular occurring thing, and they're applying it to an ongoing cost.
Sanderson says it's like using a one-time bonus to buy a more expensive car. You get the extra cash the one time, but your car payments come around every month.
For everybody who works on the budget, this is glaringly obvious.
There's no way taking money out of, in essence, a savings account to pay for an ongoing reduction in taxes is going to work.
But what's also not working are crippling property taxes for Texans. Texas is one of 7 states that does not have income tax.
There was a lieutenant governor named Bullock in the 1990s who tried to talk about the idea of having an income tax.
But that proved to be politically unpopular. He pushed through a constitutional amendment prohibiting a personal income tax in Texas, and it's even referred to as the Bullock Amendment.
And then in 2019, they had another amendment.
Voters actually strengthened that constitutional prohibition,
which made it even harder to get an income tax. You have 2/3 of voters to pass it. It's not going to happen.
The amount you pay in property taxes is based off of your property appraisal, which is determined by the local appraisal district. In Bexar County, appraisal values shot up by roughly 28% in 2022, 15% in 2023.
Property taxes at the end of the day are actually local taxes. The real answer to controlling the property tax burden lies at the local level.
The different taxing entities listed on your property tax bill set their own tax rates.
They're going to determine the budget. What is it that the city of San Antonio or the county of Bexar want to accomplish this year? What's it going to take to get there?
The state puts a limit on how much those entities can increase their rates each year, no more than 3.5%. But that percentage can be banked.
And so you can go above 3.5% if you only say you spent 2.5% last year.
That limit does not apply to the hospital district or Alamo College's district. They can increase rates by as much as 8%. But some local entities are making moves to try to lessen the burden. Alamo Colleges approved a new homestead exemption of 1% or a minimum of $5,000. The city of San Antonio just doubled its homestead exemption from 10% to 20%.
If we didn't have the property tax, government would not be able to function.
And it's much the same for public schools. Governor Abbott has suggested pushing property tax relief even further by eliminating the main portion of school property tax rates altogether. It's called the Maintenance and Operations Tax, or M&O. It's what pays for day-to-day expenses like teacher salaries, utilities, and maintenance. The Texas Public Policy Foundation, a conservative think tank, has been talking about a plan to wipe out property taxes for years. And now Governor Abbott has endorsed it. The plan calls for the state to continue compressing property tax rates over 10 years and restrict government spending and growth to create future surpluses. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has called it,
and that's a fantasy,
and one that would require a huge jump in sales tax.
Eventually, we're going to get to a point to where you can't pay for this anymore because the state just doesn't have the money to do it long term. The dog is going to catch this car.
Representatives with the Texas Public Policy Foundation declined our request for an interview for This Explains. So what do you want to see us explain? We cover all kinds of topics. Scan this QR code to go straight to the KSAT Explains page, where you can find all of our coverage and a place to send in your own ideas. We'll be right back.